This topic is input output channel. So what is the input output channel? A person's interaction with outside world occurs through information being received and sent, that is the input and output. In an interaction with a computer, the user receives the information, that is output, by the computer and responds by providing input to the computer. So the user's output becomes the computer's input and vice versa. Input in the human occurs mainly through the senses and the output through the motor control of the effectors. Next, let us see in the figure. There is a human and computer, and between them interaction is going on, and we have to understand perspective of input and output. Suppose on the screen of computer something is showing or displaying. Okay, so human sense the output of the computer, that means took the input from the computer. The output of the computer is the input for the human. So basically human is reacting, responding or clicking on the computer, or is typing on the computer, is the output of human, which is the input for the computer. So we need to understand the input output cycle. Okay, and it is very important. Now we will see the input output of the human side in perspective of HCI, that is human computer interaction. Next, input or human senses. There are three types of the input. First one is sight, then hearing, and third one is touch. Next, output or effectors. The first one is limbs, then fingers, then head or body position, and the fourth one is voice. Next, so let us see first type of input, that is sight. Some people calling it as a vision. Okay, so let it be. What is the sight? Sight means eye. We are perceive the world with the help of eye. Then processing inside, watching image, and after that we are reacting. That is the simple logic of sensing it, that is the sight. In this there is a behavior. For example, how is the behavior of our eyes in extreme cases? If brightness is very high, when you are looking at sun, then your eyes shrinking. But opposite of that, if you see in dark, then it always open. Okay, that is the behavior of your eyes. But in this extreme cases, if we expose the eyes for long time, then it will get damaged. Some things nowadays, the product which are running today in market, they are learning. Okay, they are understanding. Okay, they introduce auto brightness, and it is as per users according. He can adjust the brightness in mobiles, in tabs and laptops. Okay, suppose scenario is like that, you can use only 0% brightness or 100% brightness. If no one know the HCI, that is human computer interaction, then what, suppose we have to do, use either 0% brightness or 100% brightness. Okay, so these 2 points were out and end points, so nothing in between them. So what happened, our eyes continuously exposed to the extreme behavior. Due to that, what was happened, our eyes was got damaged. Okay, so that's why that design was bad design. Okay, because the eyes getting damaged, so that design will not be the good design, that always the bad design. Okay, then adjusting the brightness. Okay, and today is running the auto brightness is the good design, because they understand the behavior of our eyes, and it is the important things inside. Okay, so if auto brightness is there, so according to the temperature we can easily adjust. So that is the main thing. Okay, that will help for our side. Now there are two terms in this side. The first one is visual angle and the second one is visual acuity. Next, so let us see visual angle. So now I am watching from my eye to the object which is away from me, and height of that object is 5 feet, and I am watching its top and bottom, and the line is formed from eye to one at top and another at bottom. So the angle is formed between top and bottom line is the visual angle. So you can see in the figure two lines are drawn, okay, from the eye side. One is at sun's top side and the second one is at sun's downside. Okay, so in between them the 0.5 degree angle or visual angle is formed. Okay, so from that you can understand behavior of our eyes. Suppose two objects is placed in front of you at same distance from your eyesight. But what is the difference? One object is big and another one is small. Okay, so this is the second example in that two objects is placed in front of you. Okay, one is small and another one is big, but at the same distance. So what will happen? For the big object the object will be big, and for small object the visual angle will be small. That is the common sense. Okay, there is another situation. Size of the object is same but placed at the different places, that is distance is different. So the object which is at long distance, visual angle of that object will be small, and the object which is near to your eye, visual angle of that object will be big. Okay, so mostly nowadays the HCI developer is giving more importance to this behavior of the eye, and according to that they are designing the product. So that was the visual angle. Next, visual acuity. Okay, so as you can see in the figure, visual acuity is their test distance divided by the letter size. Okay, so what is the exactly visual acuity? Visual acuity, it is the ability of the person to perceive the final detail of an object. It is one type of acuity. Today's product designer is using that in the view of eye. The visual acuity is becomes difficult when the size of visual angle is very small, because of either the object is very small or it is at very long distance located from your eye. So the visual angle will be very small. Due to this, to perceive the visual angle for that person becomes very difficult, and here ability of your eye not works, and it should not happen. Okay, in development cases this thing developer keeps in his mind. Okay, so inside the font size is also important. Okay, the font size should be readable and understandable. Okay, don't allow the font size which is can create the confusion or illusion for eyes. Okay, for example, if one in the single line and near of that 3 is written, okay, but it is not clear visible, so some people will consider it as a B, capital B, and some people will consider it as a 1 3. Okay, so if people are considering it is as a alphabet, then they will consider the capital B, and if people considers it as a number, then they will count as a 1 3. Okay, so that will not happen because it creates the illusion for the eye. Okay, so it is the probability of misprecision, so that will not happen. So for that the font size should be clear. Next, Hearing. So what is hearing? Let us see in detail what is hearing. We have some audible range. Okay, you might have seen in some devices volume is there, okay, from 0 to 100, and as you reaches to 75 no issues, but if you increases to 76 then you are getting pop-up message. Okay, hearing at too high volume can damage your ear. So it is one type of your interaction with the system or the computer. Okay, many times humans don't know the something, so the computer or machine system is informing them that thing to the human that you are hearing the song at high volume, so it can damage your ears. So what is this? It is the interaction. So what human have did, he gave the input to the system, he increased the volume, it is the output of the human, and for the computer system it is a input. There is a threshold 75 to 100. As it user process after 75, then system giving the pop-up message to the user or human, you are hearing songs at very high volume, it can damage your ears. So it is the one type of interaction between the human and the computer. So an instantly human or user is decreasing the volume, and it is the hearing in the perspective of HCI. Okay, so after getting the pop-up message from the system, human or user is instantly decreasing the volume because he don't want to lose the his hearing capacity. So that is the hearing. Next, touch. So what is the touch? We'll see in the detail. Basically, if you have to give the input to the computer, what you are doing with the help of keyboard and mouse, you are touching to the keyboard and mouse. Okay, these are the two basic pointing devices you have. What you are doing, you are typing or clicking on the mouse. Okay, when you are typing, then it is one type of feel. You have touch and press this button like this. When you are clicking on mouse, you are touching to the mouse, so sense is happening while touching. Nowadays latest mobile is coming, or other devices products coming, in that the surfaces are, some surfaces are matte finish, or some mobiles have the matte finish surfaces, some are the coming in body design. So here you are getting the touch, and it is totally different that you were not getting in your old mobiles, because there was the old mobile with button keypad. But nowadays when you are using the touch screen phone, so you are getting screen to touch easily. Okay, so we just have to touch to operate that phone mobile with help of finger. We are interacting with the mobile by doing the touch on the screen simply on the mobile. That is the touch. Next, effectors. So there are four types of effectors: limbs, fingers, head or body position, and the fourth one is voice. So let us see one by one. So first one effector is limbs. So limbs, if you want to interact with the system, then limbs is used always. Limbs is used, okay, while interacting with the system. When the user or the person is interacting with the system, at the time he is using the limbs. Then second one is a finger. Okay, so majority of work on system is done with the help of fingers. Okay, like for typing on keyboard or clicking on mouse. Okay, it is possible only with the help of fingers. Even on the touch screen also we are using the fingers. Then third type is a head or body position. Okay, so sometimes the some system are there in that lock unlock system is there with your head and the body position. It is the advanced system, okay, and it is very important effector here. Input is going to the system through the body position or head and taken input by the system, and according to that it is processing and giving its output, which is input to the human. That means output of the system is the input to the human. So that is the body or head position, because in the advanced system it is now working, okay. After scanning your head or body position, the system is getting the input or starting to the work. Now fourth type is voice. So voice is vocal system is there, okay. So you are giving the voice commands. It is the output for the human, but it is the input to the system. So we have discussed the input and output in the details, okay. For the voice, you can take the example as a Google Assistant, okay. So on the Google Assistant you can search anything with the help of voice. So that is the input and output channels of the HCI. Thank you.